Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN television news. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
You have been waiting on it all year. Now it's your chance to make this Christmas better than ever. Get the extra cash you need with a Make This Christmas Better loan from the GUT Credit Union. Get up to $50,000 to celebrate your Christmas and make your holiday dreams come true. Home improvements, new furniture, a vehicle, debt consolidation, or even a vacation. We can help you get there. Yes, you can. Make this Christmas better with the GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
A special good evening to you, our viewers and listeners joining us on all of our platforms. I'm Krista Campbell with the Friday, January 21st, 2022 edition of Network News. Coming up in the news this evening, Grenada's Prime Minister congratulates his Barbadian counterpart following landslide victory at the polls. Mount Craven residents want the government to come to the aid of those still affected by the Breakwater project. Presentation Brothers College marks 75 years in existence. Grenadian residing in the U.S. makes a massive donation for the people with disabilities. And for what's happening around the world and for the latest in sports, we go over to Akisha John.
Thanks, Krista. In our probe around the globe, what we find is early childhood institutions thrive amidst the pandemic shadow, and further, a feel severe snowstorm has displaced Syrians in tent camps. Coming up on our sports roundup, ex-West Indies all-rounder Otis Gibson has been appointed Yorkshire's new head coach, and Australia trashed England after Talia McGrath's brilliance. Join me a little later on in the newscast for the details. Over to you, Krista.
Thank you, Akisha. We'll be back after this short message. Do stay with us.
The first segment of the news comes to you compliments Soft Weave Bathroom Tissue.
Have you heard about the new Soft Weave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Soft Weave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue, available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Soft Weave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information.
Welcome back to Network News at 7. Government's move is not sitting well with some Mount Craven residents, as they say the temporary fix to the effects of the Breakwater project is only protecting one area and is not in everyone's interest. The details in this report.
And major coastal erosion continues. For many, what's left are just fallen pillars and steps that once served as support for their homes. The Breakwater project was meant to put a stop to coastal degradation. However, since its construction, many are of the view that things have taken a turn for the worse, especially for residents along the coastline of Mount Craven St. Patrick. Many have lost their homes and other property, while others have had to move to higher ground. Government in recent months have taken steps to find a temporary fix to the problem by creating a stone wall in one part of the affected area. Residents are not satisfied with that move and expressed their disappointment to the GBN News crew. This young man says he cannot afford to move as he does not have land to build elsewhere.
Done the whole thing. They could have done the whole thing because the land going. At least if they could have put it from the edge of the F-pen outside lagoon. He could have walked still. Right. Yeah, because he's inside the water coming. So once that piece could have saved the water from coming inside, everything could have be okay for the time being. Until they want to do whatever they want to do else. If you could have put it before the water reach all inside, if you could have put it just on the coast of the land, you could have do that because you have much room for you to do that with the water reach quite inside.
Well, temporary is always not full. Anytime you use the word temporary, that means things not done yet. I mean, it must have a better to come. And I find for decades now, we don't see that better coming and we need to see it.
This individual says his mom, who lived on this spot all her life, now has to leave what she owned and start renting elsewhere because of danger posed.
You know, she can be comfortable because where she is not really hard. She just renting. She live here and she leave a good home to go and rent. So it could never be good. She must have us to move out because you could watch the house and you could see what's going on, you know.
About 4 families, GBN was told, have been relocated and have received assistance from government with building materials. Those who remain are calling government to do something fast to salvage what's left of their homes and property as they cannot afford to move.
Just to do up in the long wall. Look, for instance, they put the wall alongside the road and they save years now that day and it hold up very good so they could do this.
The people around need a speed recovery because too long now we're in this pain and we need them to be cured.
Krista John, GBN News.
Thanks, Chrislina. The 9 finalists to challenge reigning Independence Calypso monarch Sean Niles, also known as Soursert, for the coveted crown have been selected. Philandi Jeffrey, Sheldon Douglas, and Edison Francis are some of the notable finalists who are returning to fight for the Independence Calypso throne. Samantha Dixon, Nevon Cox, and Teddy Christopher, relatively new to the competition, will challenge the 3-time consecutive reigning monarch, Soursert, and will be seeking to make a name for themselves. O'Neill Finley, Anthony Etienne, and Monique Cummings make up the 9 artists who will vie to dethrone the current Independence Calypso monarch. On standby is Ken Richard Joseph. The competition for the coveted crown takes place on February 4th at 8 p.m. at the Kenny James Athletic Stadium. The competition will not be open to patrons. However, it will be broadcast live virtually. Presentation Brothers College marks 75 years in existence. The first of a year-long celebration began Friday with a rededication ceremony on the institution. Chrislina John was at the ceremony and sent us this dispatch.
Lord Jesus Christ, who commanded your apostles to beg a blessing of peace on whatever house they should enter, we beg of you, through our ministry, make this school presentation as college, destined for the education of young men, a holy one.
Today, Friday, January 1st, saw the rededication of the Presentation Brothers College. Established in 1947, PBC is celebrating 75 years as an educational institution. The rededication is one of the major highlights to mark the institution's 75th anniversary and forms part of the year-long celebration. The day's activity started off with the blessing of the school's cornerstone by Vicar General and past Father Haynes, and later the blessing of each classroom on the compound. Principal Dominic Jeremiah welcomed the brothers Mike and Dennis, who have traveled from abroad to represent the fraternity of the brothers. Jeremiah deemed this a proud moment.
It is a privilege to sit on the shoulders of so many giants who have preceded me as teachers, workers, and principals of this great institution. It is my distinct pleasure to welcome the brothers, Brother Mike and Brother Dennis, who are representing the fraternity of the brothers.
One of the brothers offered up the prayers of thanksgiving.
We give you thanks for allowing the Presentation Brothers College to contribute to the development of men and women for the past 75 years. You have reminded us over these last 75 years that our education is always for service to you, to our families, and to our country.
Vicar General and Pastor Father Carl Haynes left those words was in attendance, which include past and present students, parents, and well-wishers.
In love of the brothers, be tenderly affectionate one to another. Outdo one another in showing honor, not lagging in diligence, fervent in spirit, serving the Lord, rejoicing in hope, enduring in troubles, continuing steadfastly in prayer, contributing to the needs of the saints, given to hospitality.
Christina John, GBN News.
January is often seen as one of the most difficult financial months of the year following the festive Christmas season. Steps to improve your financial health and wellness in 2022 was again the focus in the latest edition of CCB Connects, as Melissa Booton, personal financial expert and founder of YourMoneyWorth.com, and Lorna Laurent, CEO of Finance Focus, lent their expertise to the discussion. Jared Joseph has more.
Financial well-being can be defined as making financial decisions with very little stress, as various factors such as the level of debt, savings, insurance coverage, spending within one's needs are controlled. Luana Lowo, CEO of Finance Focus, says a checklist can be developed to ensure an individual is financially healthy and is prepared for financial emergencies.
One of the first things that I would recommend if we wish to be financially well is to adopt a money mindset. And as Melissa mentioned, living within or beneath your means is also essential, because sometimes we find ourselves increasing our expenses at the same record pace whenever we get extra income. And these types of behavior tend to keep us from building wealth or even improving our financial health.
One of the practical steps recommended is considering oneself as a bill and paying oneself first as part of an individual's financial well-being, which is just as important as mental and physical health. Financial management has been a bane to generational families in the region, including Grenada, in which the financial situation does not seem to improve.
In the Caribbean, having a discussion about money still remains a taboo. You know, you grow up in a home and your parents don't want to discuss the bills, or they don't let you know how much they're making for good reason. At times, they cannot afford something, and rather than tell you why they cannot afford it or how they can try to afford it, they just tell you, I can't have it, you can't have it, put it back. So it starts with the degree of financial education that we have received from home. It is also not taught in schools.
Personal finance education, the experts impressed, must be a priority within homes and schools in order to build generational wealth.
We as a society or as a region haven't had much practice. Of course, our societies have come from a background of slavery, a background of colonialism, a background where, when many of our ancestors, whether they were indentured or enslaved, even after emancipation during the colonial era, we were a society, the mass of society, did not have opportunities to gain a lot of income and assets that could then be transferred to future generations.
Personal financial expert Melissa Booton noted estate planning in terms of creating a will and understanding how debt work in modern era are also critical. I am Jared Joseph for GBN News.
This is Network News at 7. Still to come from us this evening, Grenadian residing in the U.S. makes a massive donation for people with disabilities. And Grenada's Prime Minister congratulates his Barbadian counterpart for following landslide victory at the polls. Stay with us.
Republic Bank reminds customers of our Halifax Street and Grandin Steels Complex branches that our February 1st conversion date is fast approaching. Your new contactless-enabled credit and debit cards, as well as a new stock of checkbooks, are available for collection at our Grandin Steels Complex branch during the following hours: Mondays to Fridays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And for your added convenience, on Saturday, January 15th, 22nd, and 29th, between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Please walk with your existing debit and or credit card and a valid form of picture identification when collecting your new cards or checkbook. Remember, your old cards will not work from February 1st. Avoid any delay. Collect your new card today. For additional information, please call 440-4725 or email conversion@rfhl.com. Get ready to upgrade to a new experience.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Introducing Color by Sissons. 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 Color by Sissons.
Physical violence, threats, controlling behavior, and being disrespectful are no-nos in any relationship. Parenting together after a breakup can be difficult, but always speak and behave in ways you would want your children to speak and act. You cannot control what your ex-partner does, but you can control how you choose to respond to your ex and what behaviors you display to your children. Parents, display behaviors you will want your children to learn. A respectful child begins with you. Step up your parenting game. My family matters.
January 1947 saw the dawn of a new day, the birth of the Grenada Civil Service Credit Union, later renamed the Grenada Public Service Cooperative Credit Union Limited, and more recently, Ariza. Ariza is extremely proud to be celebrating this significant milestone. But this would not have been possible without you. And this is why we are inviting you to celebrate with us as we celebrate 75 years of transforming lives. Stay tuned to our social media platforms and our local media houses to learn more of the activities and events that we have in store for you. We celebrate this journey. We thank all our stalwarts for their valued contributions in bringing us to where we are today. We look forward to serving you for many more years. Let's celebrate 75 years of transforming lives.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for playing Waggity Virtual Bingo. And on Sunday, January 30th from 6 p.m., it's appreciation time because you can win $10,000. Tickets are $10 and you'll get one free. Wait, what? Free? Yes! Purchase one ticket and you'll get another absolutely free. Offer ends on Sunday, January 23rd. So hurry and get those tickets now. Available in Grenada from numerous box offices island-wide. Or if you're overseas, tickets are only available at gotofed.com. Sunday, January 30th. Join the fun online. Play Waggity Virtual Bingo. It's the new way to play bingo.
Leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Republic Bank reminds customers of our Halifax Street and Grandin Steels Complex branches that our February 1st conversion date is fast approaching.
Your new contactless-enabled credit and debit cards, as well as a new stock of checkbooks, are available for collection at our Grandstand Steels Complex branch during the following hours: Mondays to Fridays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And for your added convenience, on Saturday, January 15th, 22nd, and 29th, between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Please walk with your existing debit and or credit card and a valid form of picture identification when collecting your new cards or checkbook. Remember, your old cards will not work from February 1st. Avoid any delay. Collect your new card today. For additional information, please call 440-4725 or email conversion@rfhl.com. Get ready to upgrade to a new experience.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Thanks for staying with us. Another shipment of assistive living devices to aid people physically challenged has been donated to the Grenada National Council for the Disabled by John Crow, a Grenadian living in the United States. He said he realized the need on one of his visits to the island and decided to pull efforts towards the cause. Krista John tells us more.
Our governments, and listen to my essay, right? Our governments over the years have paid no attention or little to no attention to seniors as well as people with disabilities. And that we have no adequate sidewalks, very, very little of anything to assist people who are otherwise disabled.
That was the sentiments echoed by John Crow, a Grenadian by birth residing in the U.S. who's given back, especially to people with disabilities, both adults and children. This being the third container shipped to Grenada in the past 2 years, is loaded with assistive devices to be distributed to people who are differently abled.
As I started working on the seniors portion, I realized it's not just the seniors. We also have a community of people with disabilities, and expanded that effort and started collecting assisted living devices. And I was saying it wrong all along, but it's assisted living devices. So that means crutches, walkers, rollators, things that for people who might have an amputation and the leg, have a leg kind of thing. Those kinds of devices to help people maneuver around.
Crow is calling on families who have relatives with a disability and are in need of any of those items to reach out to the Grenada National Council for the Disabled. He has also established a GoFundMe page where people can make donations to the cause. He says he could not do this by himself, and so thank all those who have contributed to having the items shipped to Grenada. One container, he says, amounts to at least $3 million. This is what he says he looks forward to as a means of support for those less fortunate.
Could just get those elected officials to understand the plight of our disabled community and work with GNCD and organizations like GNCD to make it happen and help our individuals, because we help on youth, but we're very light on seniors. We're heavy on young people, but we're very light on very young people, the babies. Okay, and we cannot do it like that. We have 65, and you no longer are quote unquote legally out to work, but you still can make a contribution, and we still have to take care of them.
Hilary Gabriel, coordinator for the Grenada National Council Disabled, says many people have benefited from this project, including the Princess Alice Hospital, the Grenada General Hospital, and Princess Royal in Caribbean. This, she says, has eased the financial burden associated with purchasing devices for their patients.
I know before this project, it was hard on us. We had to buy the pull-ups, we had to buy everything like that. And this has saved us, not GNC, but the Tri-Island State tremendously. And for this, I think people need to come on board with Mr. Crow and assist. And also, we need volunteers here. We are looking for a room that when the container comes and we offload, we can put it there and take proper record of.
Gabriel expressed appreciation to Mr. Crow for his generosity and the Ministry of Social Development for providing concession for the shipments. Krista John, GBN News.
A great initiative indeed. The Ministry of Health is now exploring alternatives to better educate Grenadians on COVID-19 vaccines. One of their new methods is using private medical practitioners to educate their clients on the subject. Rena Perth-Thomas tells us more.
With Grenada's COVID-19 vaccinated 32.3%, government is re-strategizing to tackle the issue of vaccine hesitancy. One way the Ministry of Health is looking to encourage vaccination is through the intervention of private medical doctors. This comes as UNICEF and USAID shared their findings of a survey conducted to better understand the reasoning of the slow uptick of COVID-19 vaccines in Grenada and the rest of the Caribbean. Chief Medical Officer Sean Charles says the report indicates that 14% of respondents who got vaccinated were speaking to their doctor.
I think this is an opportunity for the wider Grenadian healthcare community, all our physicians, whether in the private or in the public sector, to recognize that their opinion as it relates to vaccination was important for the individuals surveyed. And many individuals, after speaking to their physicians, they made the decision to be in favor of vaccination or not. So what we want to do is speak to these physicians and say, listen, try to set aside a moment in your encounters with each patient and have a discussion with them with regards to vaccination.
60% of respondents in Grenada's report are vaccinated, noting the reasons for initial vaccine hesitancy were a lack of trust in the vaccines on account of the speed of their development and uncertainty over long-term side effects. Dr. Charles spoke of how the report will guide them going forward.
Well, certainly it informs our decision on how to approach the issue of vaccine hesitancy. We need to provide more avenues for persons to be educated. The Ministry of Health has been doing its part to put out information there and educate persons, but we do know that the level of acceptance of that message has not been the best. So I think, and given the findings of this survey, really targets for us to use in our ongoing education campaign.
Grenada's last COVID-19 dashboard shows that 32.3% of Grenadians are fully vaccinated, 5.1% partially, and 4.0% took their booster shots. For GBN News, I am Rena Perth-Thomas reporting.
Thank you, Rena. Moving now to political news. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell has extended congratulations to colleague Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Mottley, who secured a second term in office with a landslide victory at the polls on Wednesday. Having announced the snap elections on December 27, 2021, Prime Minister Mottley's Barbados Labour Party secured all 30 seats in Monday's vote. Dr. Mitchell congratulated the Barbadian leader, saying, quote, "The results represent an overwhelming vote of confidence in the BLP administration. The Barbadian electorate has essentially opted for the continuation of the tremendous work that Sister Mia and her team have been doing. Yes, the times are difficult, with an unprecedented pandemic that just seems on and on. But there are many other important facets to leadership at this time, and the people are obviously of the opinion that the BLP has done a good job thus far. With the new mandate, the administration needs to continue fulfilling its promises to the people of Barbados, uniting the people of the country, and managing the ongoing crisis," unquote. And now we turn our attention to what has been creating a buzz on social media. Rena Thomas has been looking around the platforms.
You analyze the various topics and distill the issues as they unfold. Your distillation points matter, as we're about to highlight them in our Social Buzz report.
Today's Social Buzz features Grenadians in discussion on the topic of democracy. We hear from callers of GBN To The Point program who used the forum to express their concerns on the issue of democracy in Grenada and the role the country's failed referendum would have played in balancing democracy.
Fixed date for election was one of the things proposed by the people to get done. Proportional representation was also presented, clearly explained as one of the major advantages to the enhancement of true democracy in this here country. There was another one, term limit. I remember these three specifically because they're the most important. But what happened? The legal luminaries and the cabinet. Just imagine the cabinet, not the lawmakers, the cabinet, the executive, debunked them all and threw them aside because they did not want it. If we talk about living in a democracy, we have to understand the true meaning of the word democracy from its etymology.
There were three main problems we have with our constitution, and for some reason none of them were willing, none of them were addressed, or the powers that be were not willing to address any of them. The term limits thing, either here nor there with it. I could live with it.
As is?
Yes. Deliver on your mandate within that term. And then and only then would you come and ask for a fresh mandate. This gamesmanship where you feel, I have an upper hand now, I'll call an election. This is graceful. And this is an abuse of the Constitution. It's done everywhere, even in the UK, where we got ours from. But to me, this is disrespect and this is an abuse of that power that they have. And to me, people should take this very seriously. Don't come back to us until you have served your mandate and you deliver what you promised to do. People come in halfway and want another mandate because they feel they have an upper hand. This is not a game of cricket with sporting declarations.
All right.
This is seriousness.
I was just calling this morning, of course, sharing his views and just, whatever thoughts are going through individuals' minds, I was allowing that for a wee bit.
That's a wrap for tonight's bunch. You need to share your thoughts and concerns with us on our social media platforms.
Still ahead, Acting Director of Medical Services, Dr. Donald, says visitors to high-risk wards at the General Hospital must take a COVID-19 test. We'll be back with the details shortly.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform. Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Free delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
She was my life, caring for me, loving me from a baby. COVID came and she never left the house. She felt safe there. Just turned 80. She kept saying, son, go take the vaccine so you could come and see me. I miss you. I never did. Because I'm young and I'm strong, and people on Facebook say the vaccine don't really protect you. I went to see her because I thought I was fine. They had no symptoms. She was so happy to see me. I had COVID and I did not even know. Being vaccinated would have helped. I just know it. I just know it. I'm so sorry, Granny. I'm so sorry.
This message is brought to you by the Grenada COVID Crisis Group and the Grenadians United in Virginia.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to secure the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. for the amazing woman in you.
If there was ever a time to keep and stay healthy, it's now. We at Hills and Valley are here to help you take deliberate steps to maintain your health. We stayed true to maintaining the most comprehensive while stocking the widest range of medicines and health devices, including personal protective equipment. There are so many benefits shopping with us. You get great savings through discounts for senior citizens and reward cards for loyal customers. Ask about owning yours today. Visit us at Halifax and Grenville Street, St. George, Jubilee Street opposite the Grenville Bus Terminal, and at Hillsborough, Carrico. Our wholesale distribution on Halifax Street also stocks the widest range of pharmaceuticals. We are with you on the hills and in the valleys. We are Hills and Valley Pharmacy.
Convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Welcome back to Network News at 7. Acting Director of Medical Services, Dr. Akisha outlined some of the changes made within the General Hospital to cope with the effects of the virus and to ensure that both staff and patients are safe. We get more in this Rena Per-Thomas report.
Some changes are now in place for people visiting high-risk wards at General Hospital. Acting Director of Medical Services, Akisha Donnell, says that to ensure patients and staff are safe, family members visiting high-risk wards, such as the pediatric ward, will be subjected to taking COVID-19 tests before being allowed to enter. She outlined other changes that the public will have to adhere to.
We want to implore also that persons coming into our accident and emergency, remember we're in the midst of a pandemic, we're in the midst of community spread, and of course we have a lot of persons right around us who may be positive. So we want to advise that persons coming to the accident and emergency department try to come with just one other person, so that we could decrease the number of persons waiting around and who are potential risk to the persons who are waiting. Persons should visit their loved ones. Of course, we have to provide psychological support to our loved ones, but let us try to minimize the visitation and, of course, the number of persons visiting a particular person. So we have, again, instituted the protocol whereby the next of kin is the person who is designated to visit and bring supplies and provide support to the persons who are admitted within the hospital.
32 nurses and 16 physicians within the health system are affected by COVID-19, creating a shortage in medical staff, says Dr. Nolde. She also highlighted the need for people with chronic diseases to better care for themselves, especially in these times.
At hospital services, we're seeing a lot of persons coming in with chronic illness, and we just want to advocate for healthy living. Persons need to really care for themselves. Exercise, proper diet, make sure you stay hydrated. All right? These are things to, ensure that you boost your immunity. Ensure that if you have a chronic illness, that you have steady follow-up with your physician. So not just see the doctor when you're ill, or when something is wrong, but have steady follow-ups. So based on your condition, your doctor will advise, and you should really try to be compliant with your follow-up.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Health confirmed 3 positive COVID-19 cases at the Mongay Mental Health Facility and 11 within the General Hospital, 3 of whom are pregnant women. There are no reported cases at Princess Alice and Mount Royal. Dr. Donald said the 3 cases at Mongay did not indicate COVID-19 pneumonia, but this is not so for 6 of the 11 cases at the General Hospital. The last COVID dashboard indicated that 5 cases are in moderate health condition, while 3 are severely ill and the other 3 are critically ill. Health officials continue to advocate for Grenadians to get vaccinated and follow all COVID-19 protocols. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
Thank you, Rena. It's that time of the night where we take a peek through the GBN ISOL lens. Akisha John has been sifting through your submissions and filed this dispatch.
A good eye captures all. GBN ISOL is brought to you by Clear Vision.
Life is beautiful if only you can see it. Clear Vision Eye Center helps you do just that. We provide expert service, classy eyewear, and cutting-edge technology, all with a quality customer experience. See better, feel better, and look better. Meet us today at clearvisiongrenada.com or call 444-0055, WhatsApp 409-0055, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Clear Vision Eye Center. Let's see life and the world with a clear vision.
Ago, we featured a papa tree that grew out of a rock in a very dry place and moved towards the light. Since then, the deciduous tree produced this yellow succulent papaya fruit. Our citizen journalist noted that it measures approximately 9 inches. Every part of this papaya is very beneficial. The fruit, as well as the leaves of the tree, are excellent sources of vitamins, antioxidants, fibers, and minerals. More specifically, they contain vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin K, and vitamin E. This soft and vibrant colored fruit can be used daily to keep fit. It can also be used to treat viruses and fevers. We thank our ISO reporter for this fruity submission. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
Do stay with us. The weather is up next, and Akisha has the latest developments in sports and around the globe.
We're bringing you gifts of love with cheer at the communal. This Christmas, we are your Santa. It's all about sharing the warmth of this season with those you love. Get in on this special loan, taking advantage of great interest rates with no principal payments until January 2022. Share the gift of love. Make it a merrier Christmas with the communal. Exciting prizes for members to Ocean. For we are your Santa this Christmas. Offer ends January 31st, 2022. Lending terms and conditions apply. Communal show with that
Here is a little known fact. There is only one place in Grenada that you can get an MRI scan done. That place is Spicewell Imaging Center. Yes, Grenada, that's the truth. Other centers could offer you other scans, but Spicewell Imaging provides an authentic MRI scan. Here's another little known fact. Spicewell Imaging has 3 centers. We operate at Grenville, the Carnage, and at the Ocean House, Grandlands. We provide the widest range of laboratory tests and services. CT scans, x-rays, mammograms, ultrasounds, and a host of other services. We are fully staffed by a team of family doctors and specialists. Call us today at 444-7679. or 406-1500, or visit any of our 3 locations. Spice Cell Imaging, from seeing the doctor to getting lab tests, scans, and pharmacy services. We are here to take care of you.
Let's start the new year on a high, a detox high, because it's detox time again at Nirvana Detox Center, a natural health store. Check out our many detox packages starting from $100 or get 15% off on colonic irrigation therapy. Detoxing can help with liver and blood cleansing, weight loss, constipation, acid reflux, kidney stones, heavy metal removal, gas and bloating, and more. Call or WhatsApp us on 231-6642, 418-7115, or 449-7753. Ask about our delivery options. Visit us now. Bruce Street Mall, store number 1208, or Belmont St. George's, close to the Fall Edge area. Our opening hours are Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Nirvana Detox Center and Natural Health Store. Detox your way to health. These specials ends on March 31st or while stocks last.
Keeping an eye on the weather, this is GBN. We've got you covered.
Let's take a look at the weather forecast for tonight and the upcoming days. Tonight's weather forecast generally fair, becoming partly cloudy at times with isolated shower. Seas moderate to slightly rough and waves 5 to 7 feet in open water. A small draft advisory is in effect. Tides will be high at 6:10 p.m. and low at 1:05 a.m. Moving now to Saturday, where the weather is expected to be generally fair and windy, becoming partly cloudy at a time. Few brief overnight showers possible. Winds northeasterly to east-northeasterly at 16 to 26 miles per hour. Seas moderate to slightly rough and waves 5 to 7 feet in open water. A small craft advisory is once again in effect. Now to Sunday, where the weather forecast is generally fair and breezy. Any shower should be light and brief. Winds east-northeasterly to easterly at 14 to 24 miles per hour, and seas moderate with waves up to 6 feet in open water. And finally, on a Monday, the weather is expected to be generally fair and breezy. Any showers should be light and brief. Winds east-northeasterly to easterly at 14 to 24 miles per hour, and seas slight to moderate with waves 3 to 5 feet in open water. And that's the weather forecast for tonight and the upcoming days.
Good evening, sporting fans. Let's bowl off with cricket. Yorkshire have appointed former West Indies all-rounder and coach Otis Gibson on a 3-year deal. The 52-year-old takes charge following the departure of Andrew Gill and the rest of the coaching staff late last year. More in this report.
Gibson, 52, will take charge at the end of February as a replacement for Andrew Gale, who was sacked during the Azim Rafiq racism scandal. The former West Indies and South Africa head coach will report to interim managing director Darren Gough. The BBC quotes Gibson as saying he's extremely honored and excited to be given the opportunity. The Barbadian, who has also served as England and Bangladesh bowling coach, will have overall responsibility for the performance and management of the first team. He will be supported by 2 assistant coaches who will be appointed shortly. The former Durham, Glamorgan and Leicestershire player will join Yorkshire once his contract with the Multan Sultans in the Pakistan Super League finishes next month. Gibson played 2 test matches and 15 internationals during a 17-year playing career and was in charge in 2012 when West Indies won the T20 World Cup. He took 1,024 wickets and scored 8,552 runs during his career. Jack Matthew, ABS Sports.
England was trashed in the opening match of the Women's Ashes as Talia McGrath's outstanding all-rounder performance fired Australia to a 9-wicket win in the first T20. McGrath blasted an unbeaten 91 from 49 balls after taking 26 as Australia chased down 170 with 80 to spare at the Adelaide Oval. She shared a brutal 144 rounds standing with captain Meg Lanning, who finished with 64 from 44 balls, to help Australia register their highest chase in the T20s. England had posted a seemingly threatened 169 for 4 from their 20 overs, led by 70 from Danny Wyatt. A ragged bowling and fielding display cost England, who were unable to maintain any pressure on the brilliant McGrath and Lanning. Victory gives Australia 2 points in the multi-format series, with the second of 3 T20s taking place at the Adelaide Oval on Saturday. And finally, the Djokovic saga continues. Not long after the world's best tennis player stepped off the plane in and into legal uncertainty, his father held a press conference in the back room of his Novak team family restaurant in Belgrade, confidently declaring, quote, "Novak is Serbia, Serbia is Novak," unquote. Australia's decision to detain and deport the sportsman on the eve of the Australian Open, robbing him of the chance to defend his title, was greeted with fury in Serbia.
Novak Djokovic arrived back in his home country of Serbia after Australian authorities canceled his visa on public health and order grounds. The Serbian government outraged by the political intervention.
I think the decision is scandalous. I am disappointed, and I think it has shown how the rule of law functions in some other countries, i.e. how it doesn't function. It's incredible.
Australia's immigration minister argued that Djokovic, who is unvaccinated but sought a medical exemption to play in the Open, could incite the country's anti-vaxxers. It was their final volley in a drawn-out legal grudge match that saw him detained by immigration authorities twice in a matter of weeks. Djokovic has been widely criticized for remaining unvaccinated and for breaking self-isolation in Serbia. After testing positive in December, he attended a photo shoot in person. But here in Belgrade, the tennis star doesn't appear to have lost any fans, nor has he been labeled an anti-vaxxer.
Everybody has their choice. I don't think he's spreading anything, neither non-vaccination nor vaccination.
I think that's his choice, and no one should be forced to be vaccinated. I myself am vaccinated, but I don't think no one should be forced to be.
While Serbian fans welcomed him home with open arms, tennis fans in Melbourne welcomed the end of the visa saga that has overshadowed the actual tennis.
I think it was kind of dragged on a little bit too long, but it's great that we can kind of put that behind us.
Djokovic has officially lost the chance to play for his 21st Grand Slam title, and may be barred from Australia for the next 3 years.
Now, there are some compelling reasons that may be able to be looked at, but that's all hypothetical. At this point, any application will be reviewed on its merits.
His next Grand Slam may also be in jeopardy. France announced Monday that all professional athletes competing in the country will have to be vaccinated, with no exceptions.
That's a wrap for our sports roundup. Do stay with us for our global developments. And welcome to our probe around the globe. I am Akisha. Tonight we start in Antigua and Barbuda, where the nation's youngest learners are proven immensely resilient amidst the perils of the pandemic. That's what Ursel Charles Jr. found out as he visited several preschools around the island Wednesday for an update on education at this crucial stage.
Although the education system has been plagued by several interruptions for nearly 2 years, the youngest among us are proving they are irrepressible. From all reports, the young charges at the Villa Preschool, the Simon Bolivar Preschool, and the Green Bay Preschool were all happy to return to in-person instruction.
Well, they have been coping pretty well. They are happy to be at school, away from home. They look forward to meeting their teachers and especially their friends.
The children are glad to be back at school, and they've missed their teachers, and so we are also happy to be back in our classroom setting.
They were quite happy. One thing I must say, we had to get them not to the touchy part, because once they see the teachers, big hugs, kisses. So yes, for that reason I would say they were quite happy to be back out.
Teaching protocol to small children is no easy feat, but masterful teachers at all 2 institutions have found creative ways to reach their charges.
Good morning, boys and girls. How are you this morning? You're looking so lovely. And today I am dressed as a what? I'm trying to have 5 lunch boxes. How many? 5. Blue for Monday. What color is for Monday? Blue for Monday. What color is this? Blue. Green, yeah. If your clothes is on fire, what should you do? Stop, drop, and roll. Now let's sleep. Wake up,
Most of our activities are hands-on. If you notice, as you look around the classroom, there are different areas with different toys. We have the block area where you find large blocks, some small. The book area where we have a lot of books.
We have what we call the high school. We are learning through play. That's our motto. So everything we try to base it on a fun way.
In general, learning for the young minds continues to be literally fun and games, while adults continue to face the turmoils associated with COVID-19. And so there you have it. Early education truly alive and well across Antigua and Barbuda. I'm Ursula Charles Jr. for
ABS News! ABS News!
Out of the mouths of babes.
Over in Jamaica, Sergeant Shelton Dobson was not accustomed to taking his 1-year-old daughter to daycare, and a change of routine on Monday said to have resulted in the death of toddler, who was reportedly left locked in his car for 8 hours as he went to work.
Police are awaiting the results of an autopsy on an 18-month-old baby who died at the Black River Hospital in St. Elizabeth. According to reports, the deceased child, identified as Shalani Dobson, had to be rushed to the facility after being left in a locked car for 8 hours on Monday. She is the daughter of 2 police officers assigned to the St. Elizabeth Police Division. Our news center was informed that both parents left home and the police woman was dropped off at her work. At her workstation. Her father should have taken the baby to the daycare and then on to work. However, the child was left inside the car at the Black River station from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. while the policeman carried out his duties. The baby was later found unconscious and rushed to the hospital where she died yesterday. It's understood that a file will be sent to the Director of Public Prosecutions, who will determine what action will be taken.
Internationally displaced Syrians living in camps are struggling to stay warm as a snowstorm hits the region. Millions of people have been living for years with only tents for shelter. We get more in this report.
These tents have collapsed with the weight of snow. People are scrambling to clear it before their homes here in Ehsan camp also cave in. The storm called Hiba began on Tuesday night and hit countries across the Middle East. But it's displaced Syrians who are feeling the brunt of it. Agencies are trying to clear the snow, but families will struggle to stay warm. And here in the Syrian countryside, they're trying to do what they can just to survive this latest storm. Asal Baig, Al Jazeera.
And that story concludes tonight's probe. Krista is with a recap of the headlines.
Thanks, Akisha. Recapping the main points, Grenada's Prime Minister congratulates his Barbadian counterpart following landslide victory at the polls. Mount Craven residents want the government to come to the aid of those still affected by the Breakwater project. Presentation Brothers College marks 75 years in existence. GBN residing in the U.S. makes a massive donation for people with disabilities. And around the globe, early childhood institutions thrive amidst the pandemic shadow, and further afield, a severe snowstorm hits displaced Syrians in tent camps. And in sports, Wendy's woman Matthews Mohammed land ICC honor. Well, that's the news for now. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us on all of our social media platforms. I'm Krista Campbell saying thanks so much for joining us, and do have a wonderful evening.